Nobody else in the Beatles did either. That's the only song that John ever did completely on his own.
Well, you should bring that up.
I think I just did.
Oh, it's already recorded. So next up is the last track of the first half of the White Album, Julia.
Track number 17.
Obviously written about John's mother.
So John grew up with his aunt Mimi and his uncle George. Kind of got estranged from his mother when he was about 5 years old. Into his teenage years, they kind of rekindled their friendship, or kind of like familial relationship with each other. And she got back in his life. It was about this time. She's the one that introduces John to, like, hey, here's a banjo. Here's how it works. Here's how you tune it. Here's a piano.
This is music.
This is music. And she would listen with, like, John around the house to, like, rock and roll records and stuff at her house. And it was kind of like John was sneaking off to see, like, a cool older sister more than a mother. But tragically, Julia dies in a car wreck. She's struck down and killed not far from her home, or his home. So when he was in India, he knew he wanted to write a song about his mom. He knew that he wanted to kind of just basically kind of send it as a message to her out there into the universe or whatever. So Donovan, another artist at that time, which you might know him from like the Calm Mellow Yellow or Hurdy Gurdy or that kind of thing. Anyway, Donovan was there in Rishikesh with the Beatles in India, and John approached him and said, I'm trying to write this song, can you help me? And he kind of told Donovan, because you're the king of writing children's songs. And that's what he wanted it to be, kind of from a perspective of like a child. And John literally was saying, I want to have a memory of, I don't have a memory of this with my mom, but I want to build a memory of what it would be like. And Donovan said, well, first question is, where do you want to be with her?
Yeah, cool.
And he said, I want to be at the beach. So it's a really pretty song. It's the only song that John recorded completely by himself during the Beatles recordings.
So he did the same, he approached the task the same way?
I approached the song the exact same way. There are 2 acoustic guitar parts, just like in the original song. John doubles his vocal in certain parts, and I went through and made sure that if I was doubling my vocal, it was because they had done it on the record that way. So I tried to stay very true to this one.
Had this since 7th grade, graduated in 2001, so this book has gone through some times. It's not as rough as his.
Mine's terrible.
His has been chewed on by multiple animals. But
true story.
Until I looked at this song and actually saw the words written out, I saw the word meaningless instead of the 2 words meaningless. He says half of what I say is meaningless. It's the way he phrases it, but I always took it as 2 different words. Like,
it is.
Most of what I say probably doesn't mean as much as it used to you as it would have before, but
if you took it from the other side, it still works, because half of what I say is meaningless. Like, why am I even saying it?
I don't know why, but this is one of my favorite John songs as far as lyrics are concerned, because I don't know, I gave him more credit after paying more attention to it. I'm a Paul fan, period. Everybody knows it. You play bass, you sing all the Paul songs.
I'll tell you where he lives.
I just wanted to put it out there that, sometimes you hear a lyric differently than it actually is. And
John was a big fan of Lewis Carroll, like Alice in Wonderland, Through the Looking Glass and all that stuff. And I think some of the lines might have even been borrowed from his work, which John wasn't opposed to borrowing lines from things that inspired him. I mean, you've got being for the benefit of Mr. Kite is literally a poster, and the lyrics are all laid out for him.
Day in the Life
is
the
from a newspaper clipping. Yeah. So, he's just a guy, he paid attention to his surroundings. He was very intuitive. He was very, I think, soft-natured and very, and I think this song shows a very soft, kind of vulnerable side of John. So I hope you enjoy Julia, which is the 17th track on our cover of the White Album.
Please tell all your friends and family, if they like the Beatles, just check our stuff out. Like I said, we're not trying to monetize it. We just want as many people to hear it as possible. Put a lot of work into it, and it's a cool passion project for us. So, first side is done. Give us your comments, tell your friends, and stay tuned for record number 2.
See ya.
Peace.